Welcome back, TCS TV viewers. It's Chris Niccolls here from TCS TV, and
I'm Jordan Drake.
Jordan Drake, and you're going to be on here.
I'm on camera
slightly
today.
less than 50% of the time, and we are coming to you from Okotoks because after Japan,
yeah,
this is like almost as good.
This is the next step. Yeah, it's
right.
just like
We're
one
moving
exotic location to
horses,
Okotoks. Yes,
and small town. Now we're here to talk about these very interesting devices that we have on top of this rig, aren't we?
Yeah, I mean we've got external recorders on these.
Right.
Which, alongside the GH5, which we've now switched and we're doing most of our shooting with right now, these give you some very clear advantages. Now, for starters, the 10-bit footage coming off the GH5, not the easiest to work with.
Right.
Recording externally, they'll give you big files, but very easy to edit.
Yeah.
But today we're looking at the new Ninja Inferno, which was kind of built from scratch for the GH5, it feels like.
That's
or
what
it's
you
just
have.
a huge coincidence that the specs came out so similar to this body
And
at the same
I've
time.
chosen / been forced to use the PIX-E5, but that's okay because I actually really like this device. We use this quite a bit as well. And it has to be appreciated that external recorders have really become an essential part of a camera kit, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they do something different, but you've got many brands, and so it's important to understand how those brands are going to integrate.
Exactly, yeah. The PIX-E has been kind of our chosen recorder when we're shooting with X-T2s, GH4s, so I want to see how that compares to the new cutting-edge stuff in the Ninja Inferno. So we got a couple different recorders here.
Yes.
So you've got the PIX-E5.
Yes, I'm using the PIX-E5 by Video Devices, named that way because it's small and it's cute and yet it's very magical.
Yeah, sprightly, I love it.
Yes.
I'm using the Ninja Inferno from Atomos, which is named with Japanese terms all the time, even though they're Australian.
I know,
But
Shogun, Ninja,
I know.
Star, like Ninja Star, like it's stupid.
It's fantastic.
It's not. I could do that too, because they could do like Brownie or Dryad or Nymph or Sprite.
The wood nymph.
Or Fairy Godmother or
Gotcha.
something. Yeah, so I could do that too.
Let's move forward here. So the Ninja Inferno, first of all, you can see it's way bigger than your adorable little PIX-E5.
The backhanded insults begin already.
But I've also got a much brighter screen, and that's one of the really cool things about this, is they basically took the guts from the much more expensive Shogun Inferno. They've stuck it into an HDMI only version, but this is still super bright screen. I've got way more nits than you. I have so many nits. That
Which
you can
are
really
a pain in the ass to get out of your hair. It's horrible. Kids are gross. Okay, so your screen's got all the Lycee nits on it.
Yes.
And I will say that it is large and it does look a little bit brighter than the PIX-E5.
Oh, it's noticeably dramatically brighter, no question.
Right. But it's also a much larger thing.
Yeah.
It makes it quite heavy and quite large. I mean, look how this fits the GH5 really, really nicely.
Yeah.
Small little ball head. It's nicely balanced because of the dual batteries. Yours is always lopsided with batteries on one side, SSD on the other.
Right.
It's just not fit for a camera like this.
Valid? Okay. We keep bringing back the size issue, but a big part of that is it allows the Ninja Inferno to have a really easy to use touchscreen interface where you don't have to worry about really small icons. It's very easy to quickly work your way through that. I'm never pushing the wrong thing while I'm checking focus, adjusting exposure, applying LUTs. And remember too, this is an HDR monitor, so having that big size means I can actually use it on my desktop to see how my HDR content is going to look.
Sure.
A lot of people are using this kind of as an external monitor to check HDR because the main monitors are so rare right now.
It is absolutely a big advantage. This is a much better screen, but I'm not going to give you the touch interface thing because this has the touch interface as well. You can do all the same things. And arguably, it's much easier to get LUTs onto this thing with the USB port and the SD card drive.
Right.
And on top of that, I do still have hard buttons. This is totally dependent on the touch screen, right? I've got tactile feedback, I've got hard button controls, it's nice in the cold, it's nice with gloves. That has to be appreciated. This is developed for an industry tool user.
Yeah, I mean, if they were to do another Ninja, what's another Japanese word that the next version of this is going to be?
Daimyo?
Exactly. When the Daimyo comes out, I would love to see some hard buttons on this. I think that would be a really useful upgrade, as well as, yes, an SD card slot so we could put LUTs on it and record a little backup. That's, if my SSD fails while I'm shooting, I'm screwed.
Yep.
At least with this, I can record either proxies or just have those lower quality backup files in case disaster strikes.
That's my line.
Oh, okay. Well, I said it for you.
So thanks for finishing my line. I'm going to say it's a good thing that this thing is huge because you have to use SSD storage. It takes up so much space.
Well, the nice thing is they're definitely less expensive than the mSATA drives you're using, but in every other regard.
Yeah, you need caddies, you need adapters connected to the computer. It's a pain in the butt. This MSAT is becoming the industry standard now. Those drives are going to get less and less expensive, and it comes in this little tiny caddy, USB built in. It couldn't be easier. It's basically just like a high-capacity memory card.
I will give you media for sure.
Now, I think I've got you here, Jordan, because, you know, one of the benefits of an external recorder is not just for video, but for audio as well. You know,
Right.
a lot of people
Audio
are
is
struggling.
important.
Absolutely. A lot of people out there are struggling with how do I get all my inputs into a camera? Well, these have it built in. Now, Sound Devices is a big company.
Yeah, and the best
the
for
best,
external
right?
audio recording.
And this is the same company as Video Devices. So I get this attachment on the bottom, $570, but it bolts right in.
Right.
I get hard levels, I can scrub through, hard buttons for recording, playback and stopping, adjustable levels, great display, beautiful.
It's beautiful. I mean, it does add a little more bulk to it, so you lose a bit of that size
A
advantage.
little more bulk. It's still way smaller than your giant bulky device. What do you have to compete with that?
Well, I mean, first of all, I don't have to buy a separate attachment to get XLR in.
Right.
This thing comes with it.
Yes, your flaccid little twin port dongle there. Yes, very
yeah,
inspiring.
I mean, it may not be the most elegant solution, but it is included for free with it. It does get you dual XLRs into it. I mean, yes, yours is more elegant, but this is a less expensive recorder to start with. Yours is more money, and you still have to pay extra for the extra audio recorder.
It's totally worth it. You know, we're talking about audio too. These devices do get very hot. I know the PIX-E5
Right.
get hot, but I was surprised by how hot this thing gets. And if we're talking about audio and recording that sound, the fan noise on mine is way quieter. This
Right.
thing's a beast. It's got a really loud fan, and that's going to be a problem.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to use an onboard mic really close to the Inferno, definitely.
Okay. Hi. Do you want a latte?
Yeah.
Okay, Jordan wants a latte. Levi, you want a latte? Levi wants a latte. Okay, bring us a latte. All right, so coffee break time.
Yeah,
Having some
necessary.
nice lattes here. Yeah, absolutely. And this is actually pretty cool. Before we even go on to the devices, it's been really neat to sort of explore old Okotoks. I think we just always go down the main strip and you miss all of this cool stuff.
Yeah.
And here we're at Tribal Connections Market. Really, really nice coffee, beautiful stuff. I mean, they've got clothing, they've got crystals, they've got a really nice atmosphere here to hang out, live music. So
Nice
really
window
place-
light right here.
Beautiful window light for, you know, if you're going to do a YouTube show. So yeah, if you guys are in Old Town Okotoks, come by and visit. It's very, very cool.
Yeah, so what I wanted to talk about here and really emphasize is off the top of this, I said it seems like the Inferno was made specifically for the GH5.
Right.
And that's because this is the first HDMI only recorder we've seen that's actually capable of accepting the 10-bit 4K 60 signal that comes out of the
Right.
GH5.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, you know, there's a lot to be said for the fact that the GH5 in particular does record internal 10-bit 422.
Yeah.
And some people might find that they don't necessarily need the benefits of an external recorder.
Exactly.
But then you look at something like the Ninja Inferno and it's unlocking potential that, yeah, frankly, the PIX-E5 just doesn't have.
Yeah, exactly. And you're going to find that with almost every older recorder. They're not going to support the new 4K 60. Now, for
Exactly.
us, we don't shoot a lot of 60 frame per, well, we shoot no 60 frame per
Right.
second content. I'm using it mostly for slow motion. So it's an effect I use once in a while. But in those situations, if it's important, then
This has it.
you got to
And
go
it's
to the
becoming
Inferno for it.
very, very popular to do nowadays.
Yeah, and we're starting to see even some other YouTube shows that are actually top to bottom shot in 4K 60 frames per second. Our friends the Northrops are doing that now. So this would certainly be the only recorder choice unless you wanted to step all the way up to like
something crazy,
the
yeah.
Shogun Inferno or Convergent
Some
Design
stuff, yeah,
Odyssey
some
or
of the new
something like
Odysseys.
that. Yeah.
Now I'm going to be super gracious. I'm going to give you another benefit too. I mean, the Ninja Inferno just has the stronger processing power. That's how it's able to handle that kind of 4K ultra high.
And maybe that's where all the bulk is coming from.
I possibly, you know, but it does give you also some benefit that as far as future proofing goes.
Absolutely.
This is already going to support more powerful codecs, and yeah, moving into the future with newer cameras, this might be a little bit longer, you know, longer lasting. The PIX-E5 is getting a little long in the tooth, to be honest.
Yeah, I was actually surprised we didn't see an NAB update, but you know, if you're saying, oh man, I bet there's going to be an A7S III coming out shortly, I hope my recorder supports the format, you've got a better chance if you get the Ninja Inferno of that actually happening. With the PIX-E, you're supporting the vast majority of current cameras.
Sure.
You've got an X-T2, GH4, I still think this is a great option, but if you want to be future-proof, the Inferno is definitely the better purchase.
Yeah, I mean, the X-T2 we used with the PIX-E5 because it made a lot of sense, but you're right, cameras like the GH5 and these future cameras might just outgrow this device. So of course, as usual, our interactions have devolved into a combative bickering fight, you know.
Yeah, I mean, that was inevitable, honestly.
Yeah, it's always how it
But
goes.
I do think we're kind of pointed in the same direction when it comes to these.
Right.
If you have a GH5, I mean, the Inferno is really the only budget recorder that's going to give you everything that the camera can offer. So I think it's kind of a no-brainer in that sense.
Yeah, I mean, video devices really know how to make a great recording device, something that you use on a day-to-day basis.
Right.
But Ninja Inferno's got the forefront of technology, the processor power, you know, the quality, the ability to record the higher resolutions and the faster frame rates. These two really need to make a baby. They need to get together, make a baby. The handling and build quality of this with the thoughtful features like the MSATA, and then the processing capability and codecs of this device.
Yeah, we need some sort of like Japanese thing blended with some sort of fairy tale creature. Like
I think fairy god daimyo volcano would be
go
my
like
choice.
the Kurosawa troll.
Kurosawa troll.
Let's
not.
I'm on the spot, right?
But you know, I think we're on the same page. They would make a great device. I mean, if the PIX-E had the new capability, that would be awesome. And I think the only thing you can really argue about then is, do you want the larger screen, the larger quality of that, or would you prefer to have the smaller size and handling that makes sense on a mirrorless camera?
I mean, it's tough to say. Again, I think Atomos could learn a lot from video devices in terms of those external controls, some of the layout interface stuff. But all the same, if you took a Video Devices PIX-E5 and just threw, you know, a better processor in it, the ability to write a little faster, and added some of these new supports for it, I think that would be the most compelling option out there. So hopefully we see that. But in the meantime, I do think if you've got a GH5, want the most out of it, Ninja Inferno is definitely the way to go.
All right, well, hard to make a clear winner, really. I mean, they both have good merits.
I think we did at the end. Ninja Inferno, if you've got a...
Okay, so I guess we're going to keep fighting. But on that note, just keep in mind, guys, check us out on Instagram, follow our feed, subscribe to the channel, let us know any comments that you have there. Really, again, it's a very important part of your video process, and there's so many options out there. So choose, but choose wisely.
Yeah, let us know, guys, if you'd like to see more video content like this.
Nah, you don't want more video content. More photo content.
As well, I'd like to say thank you to Levi Hallwell for shooting this episode.
Absolutely.
And Dan Chung for firing us out a Ninja Inferno to take a look at.
Thank you very much, Dan, for getting us out there. All right, thanks very much, guys. We'll see you soon.